Lost in translation, hilarious misadventures of a global traveler. Discover laugh-out-loud travel tales in this comedy podcast. From airport mishaps to cultural faux pas, explore relatable and hilarious moments that make every journey unforgettable. Perfect for wanderlust-filled humor seekers worldwide. Greetings. Welcome to Lost in Translation, Hilarious Misadventures of a Global Traveler, the comedy podcast that takes you on a rib-tickling journey through the highs and lows of travel. Have you ever had your luggage flagged for being overweight or mistakenly offended a local with an innocent gesture? Maybe you faced a language barrier so ridiculous that you ended up ordering octopus instead of a salad. This podcast is for anyone who's ever laughed through the chaos of traveling. Whether you're a seasoned explorer or a homebody dreaming of distant lands, get ready for belly laughs, eye rolls, and maybe a cringe or two. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's dive into these outrageous travel escapades that you won't believe actually happened. Lost in translation, hilarious misunderstandings while traveling. Ever tried to order a vegetarian dish only to receive a plate of exotic meats? Imagine being in Italy and confidently asking for pepperoni pizza, only to be served a pie covered in bell peppers. Or that time in Germany when I asked for Wasser, water, but got sparkling water because I didn't specify still. My favorite? The time in Thailand when I thought I was ordering a mango smoothie and ended up with a bowl of spicy mango salad instead. Pro tip, miming works wonders, though it's no guarantee you won't still get something weird. Airport struggles, from overweight luggage to security shenanigans. Airports are a playground for Murphy's Law. Like when I confidently zipped my carry-on at home, only to have it explode open at security because I forgot I'd overstuffed it with souvenirs. Or the time I accidentally left a jar of honey in my bag, setting off alarms and triggering a lecture from a TSA agent about liquid limits. And who could forget my most embarrassing moment, getting my name mispronounced during a boarding call and almost missing my flight because I didn't recognize it. The mystery of missing hotel towels, do they really vanish? Hotels are magical black holes for belongings. Like the time I left my favorite travel pillow on the bed, only to have housekeeping clean it up into oblivion. And what's with the single slipper always missing from those provided pairs? Once, I even woke up to find a room service tray from someone else's order outside my door, mystery meal included. If these towels are vanishing, they're probably partying with all the socks the dryer eats at home. Budget travel fails, when you thought it was a deal, but it wasn't. Ever booked a boutique guest house only to discover it was boutique in size like a broom closet? My most memorable fail was a deluxe sleeper bus in Vietnam, which turned out to be a glorified recliner crammed into a neon-lit party bus. And then there was the beachfront villa in Bali where the beachfront view was a construction site. Lesson learned, read all the reviews, not just the ones with 5 stars. Souvenir shopping gone wrong, who buys that? Once, I bought a sombrero in Mexico, only to struggle fitting it in the overhead bin during my flight. Another time, I snagged an authentic Venetian mask that looked more like a cheap Halloween prop. The piece de resistance. A t-shirt in Tokyo with English text that read, "I have many happy because pizza." Sure, it made no sense, but that's why I love it. Food adventures, or misadventures trying exotic dishes with unexpected results. Food is where the heart, and the stomach aches, of travel lie. Like when I tried escargot in France but ended up gagging because I didn't know how to eat it properly. Or the time I accidentally ordered blood sausage in Spain, thinking it was a fancy name for chorizo. Oh, and let's not forget the unforgettable incident in India when I underestimated the spiciness of a mild curry. Let's just say my taste buds have never been the same. Travel fashion disasters, from socks and sandals to overpacking coats for the tropics. We've all made fashion faux pas while traveling. I once packed 6 different jackets for a spring trip to Europe, only to sweat through most of it because I didn't check the weather. And don't even get me started on the time I wore brand new hiking boots on a trail in Iceland, blisters galore. The cherry on top. Forgetting to pack enough underwear and having to wash a pair in a hostel sink. Awkward selfies, posing perfectly in front of famous landmarks. Travel photography is an art but also a comedy. Ever tried to get the perfect sunset selfie, only to accidentally activate video mode and record 10 minutes of awkward fumbling? Then there's the classic tourist move, holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, except my arm placement was off, so it looked like I was just flailing at the sky. Pro tip: find a friend who knows how to frame a shot or embrace the hilarity of doing it all wrong. Tourist vs. local, recognizing you're doing it all wrong. One of my funniest moments was in South Korea when I sat on the floor in a restaurant without realizing I was supposed to remove my shoes. The waitstaff's bemused smiles still haunt me. Then there was my attempt at haggling in Morocco, where I ended up paying more because I didn't understand the currency exchange. Being a tourist is all about making mistakes and having a laugh, mostly at yourself. Wildlife encounters, from monkeys stealing snacks to seagulls grabbing ice cream. If you think wildlife encounters are serene, think again. In Australia, I was chased by an overly curious kangaroo while holding a picnic basket. In Kenya, a zebra photobombed my safari shot and then sneezed on my camera lens. And my personal favorite: that time in Costa Rica when a sloth tried to high-five me while I screamed in delight and terror. The currency conundrum, math failures abroad. Ever paid $100 for a bottle of water because you didn't understand the exchange rate? In Prague, I once confused Czech crowns for euros and ended up tipping a waiter half my day's budget. Let's just say he smiled more than usual. Navigating unfamiliar currencies can turn a simple snack purchase into a math Olympiad. Public transport drama, the joys of getting lost. Trying to navigate public transport in a foreign city is a rite of passage. Like that time in Bangkok, where I ended up on the wrong boat and got an accidental tour of the Chao Phraya River. Or the time I mistook the subway exit in New York and emerged 15 blocks from where I intended. Getting lost is frustrating in the moment but oh so funny later. The universal plug saga, powerless and panicked. Travelers know the pain of forgetting an adapter. I once spent a night in a dimly lit Parisian hostel because my phone charger didn't fit the local socket. Who needs electricity when you can admire your phone as a very expensive paperweight? The one where the GPS betrayed me. Technology is a lifesaver until it's not. My GPS once led me to a hidden gem in Italy that turned out to be a deserted alley. Another time, I followed directions to a popular restaurant in Istanbul only to find it permanently closed. Lesson learned: always double-check before trusting technology. The over-enthusiastic tour guide. Ever been on a tour where the guide takes their role way too seriously? In Egypt, my guide insisted I try every spice in a market. Spoiler: sniffing curry powder doesn't end well. Their enthusiasm is endearing, but sometimes you just want to explore at your own pace. Misadventures on two wheels. Renting a bike in Amsterdam sounded fun until I discovered I couldn't brake properly and ended up in a canal. And who could forget the time in Bali when my scooter decided to stop working in the middle of nowhere? Let's just say walking the bike back was great cardio. The infamous packing fail. Packing light is an art I've yet to master. Like the time I brought 7 pairs of jeans for a beach holiday or forgot essentials like underwear for a week-long trip. Pro tip: always triple check your packing list or enjoy shopping for overpriced basics abroad. The group tour struggle. If you've ever traveled in a group, you know the struggle of keeping everyone happy. I once spent hours at a museum because one friend was a history buff, while the rest of us plotted our escape. Group travel is a delicate balance of compromise and suppressed sighs. The airport announcements that never help. Have you ever been at an airport, heard your name called on the PA system, and felt your soul leave your body? It happened to me in Frankfurt when I misread my gate number and had to sprint through the terminal. Pro tip: double check before you relax at the wrong gate. The souvenir that got confiscated. Customs has a way of making you question your choices. I once brought back a jar of local honey, only to have it confiscated at the airport. The real heartbreak? Watching the agent confiscate my hard-earned souvenir while explaining, "No liquids allowed." Disclaimer. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. The content highlights humorous travel experiences and miscommunications that are common when navigating foreign cultures and languages. Any depictions of language or cultural misunderstandings are presented in a light-hearted manner, and we aim to promote cross-cultural appreciation and understanding. We do not endorse or encourage stereotypes or offensive behavior. Viewer discretion is advised, as certain content may be exaggerated for comedic effect. Always approach travel and cultural exchanges with respect and an open mind.